And today I'm really excited to moderate this amazing panel, AI and Art, Igniting Every Artist's Dream. So today we've gathered amazing group of minds to unpack this from different but very beautifully complementary angles. So today we're gonna first have a guided discussion around creative opportunity, ethical tension, and the future of expression. Before we move forward, let's welcome our panelists and please introduce yourself and the amazing work you are working on.
Sure. You all know me, Rudy Rodriguez, Technical Director and Faculty Associate.
Hi, my name is Krall. I am head of design at a startup called Hume. We're right here in New York City, and we're doing a lot of research on foundational speech-language models. And I also teach at Parsons.
Hi, my name is Joshua Ott. I run a small creative studio called Interval Studios. I'm a creative technologist and technical director, and I build and perform with a program that I call SuperDraw, and I'm using it to create audiovisual, live, improvised performances.
Hi guys, my name is Aimee and I'm the co-founder for Lovart. It spells as Lovart, and we are the first ever design agent that embedded a lot of APIs that you're able to create from images to videos to social posts to podcasts. So feel free to try it out.
Hello everyone, my name is Jiajian. I think I have a slides to quickly show some image. I'm a media artist, and I think there's also a controller, like a clicker. Yeah. And previously, I am a collaborative researcher at Harvard University and MIT. And our studio is called MI Studio. We're working on at the intersection of digital cultural heritage, multimedia, storytelling, and cognitive science. Oh, thank you. So should I just click next? Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah. So these are some of our works. We work with museums and also theaters and dance groups on all kinds of immersive experiences. We use the most cutting-edge technology, AR, VR, XR, and artificial intelligence to try to revolutionize how people experience different cultures, different historical sites, museums, and how we like understand culture and the technology. Yeah, yeah. So we are also experimenting with the most cutting-edge tools to create AI films and also performances. Yeah, like motion capture. Real-time generative visuals, audios, and experimenting with like these a project we work with Chinese museums on the porcelain and calligraphy, and like the dancers multimedia dance in the heritage sites. Yeah, our works have been featured at like Venice Biennale, Ars Electronica, New Museum of Contemporary Art in New York, and also all kinds of institutes. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Also, Zach is building something really interesting called Hume AI. Do you want to dive a little bit deeper into the project you are working on?
Yeah. Oh, cool. This is there's just one slide. That's okay. So this is our mobile app, which you can download in the App Store today. And we also have a web-based version available. But it's a voice-first conversational assistant. The thing that's kind of unique about Hume that is a differentiator between some of the other conversational apps out there is that we have a lot of science in expression measurement that kind of is the precursor to our speech language models. So while you're speaking with the assistant and while the assistant is generating responses, it's measuring kind of the expressional content or like semantic analysis of the text, but also it recognizes your tone of speech. So it can recognize like the rhythm, the intonation, kind of the like expressive qualities of how you're communicating with it. We can also detect vocal bursts, so things like the word or when people have those like non-verbal kind of audible markers in their language. So we do a little bit to kind of highlight that through the conversational experience by showing the expression tags underneath the assistant's like avatar. And yeah, we have a lot of different characters that are in the app, but you can also create your own. So you can customize the system prompt, how it should speak to you. And recently we just launched some new voice customization controls. So you can prompt the speaking style and also the like identity of the speaker. So you can say that you want it to sound like, an old wise wizard or like an angry pirate, and then it will generate a voice that sounds like that.
Thank you. How about Josh? I think.
Yeah, I'd love to. Do I just press this button? I'm pressing your button.
That's still me, I think, yeah.
I do have some slides. Maybe.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Okay, that's me. So this is my company, Interval Studios. That's me, Joshua Ott. I created SuperDraw, which is it's an audiovisual program. You're seeing the output in the background of it. It generates live graphics and audio. I built it to be an instrument, played like a violin or a trumpet, or any other musical instrument, something that would give an artist sort of superpowers to augment their creativity. It's turned into probably a lot more than that, but I use it in all kinds of different contexts. So here I am playing with a string quartet. Here I am playing at Carnegie Hall with an orchestra as a soloist. And here I am using it with a group of free jazz musicians, improvising. My goal is to create narrative through audio and visual, and to give, again, an artist or a performer the power to create their own narrative through this audiovisual system. So again, some more slides of that. And I use it for many types of projects. I kind of spin it off into different things, from dance performances. This was with Gina Gibney. Album covers. I make artwork with it. I even made a video game last December. It turns out this is a pretty fast game engine. I use it for parties, and I've created apps. There's an app called Thicket, which had code. Next performance, if you're interested, next week on the 26th is Pataphysics. I make this event, which is it's an experimental audiovisual evening of all kinds of weird people using technology to create graphics and audio, and it's experimental and fun and cool, and yeah, I'd love to see you there. Anyway, thank you.
That's really beautiful. Aimee, do you want to add anything on it?
Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't have a slide prepared for you guys, because I think for our product itself, it's quite easy to use. So if you just put in one prompt, then you're able to receive whatever that you are looking for. Either it's a poster, or for your baby's shower, or for wedding, invitation card, or even so we have a gallery owner, and then she used our product to make a mini icon of herself, so that she could reuse that icon for any videos that she want to announce, and kind of use it to really associate with her followers and such. So there are a lot of ways of using our tool, and I will just open for everyone here to invite everyone to just test this out. And actually, our lunch party will be. So right now it's still in beta, but our lunch party will be in San Francisco next Wednesday. And after that day, it's open to public, so feel free to try it out and test it out and play with it. Looking forward to see our creations.
Thank you so much. Since we already learned about Rudy's amazing work, now let's kick things off with something that we are here to explore. When we talk about AI and art, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, for me, AI and art is opportunity. You know, I think it's an undiscovered terrain and canvas for artists. So opportunity, I would say.
Yeah, Rudy, I think you nailed it. With it's a tool. It's a tool that we can all use to enhance what we're doing.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I think just like media is the extension of man, and AI is also kind of media. I think is not only a tool, but is also a way to create new kinds of like creation process, new kinds of aesthetics, new kinds of experience. So I still remember like about 4 years ago when I tried to use AI to generate AI film. At that time, there's still no runway, no like Pika, no Google View 3. And the only thing I can use is like style GAN, and I remember it's disco diffusion. You need to do like frame by frame style transfer or to like frame by frame generation. So you can, I think everyone probably remember like the kind of flicking kind of aesthetics at that time before the smooth video generation tools already comes to the public. And I think it's very exciting because traditionally we use like camera to keep everyday's moments or generate or make a film. But with these kind of new tools, as a media artist, you always want to try the most cutting edge technology and see how it can conceptually and also aesthetically expand our artistic language. I think our AI and arts compare with other fields is not only about efficiency. Of course, with all kinds of tools. I have a lot of friends using Lovart, and they say, and I think it's a pretty big news among the design fields. It definitely will make the design process much faster, but I think at the same time for artists is a kind of new door for another like amazing world. Yeah.
So I will add on to that. I will say, thank you for actually mentioning us. But yeah, so I would say that it's kind of like how premises bring fire to human, and I think AI just bring creativity and creation to our generation. So yeah, I would just add that part because I think it's already been answered by a lot of the speakers.
Sounds great. So when I think about AI, I think about creative freedom, and it actually helps me turn ideas into reality. But it also makes me reflect on how to use that power thoughtfully. So let's move on to the creative side. So Rudy, have you seen AI or immersive technology change the way audience feel during the performance? And can tech actually make emotion more accessible?
Yes, I mean, I definitely have witnessed AI and technology make people feel different things. I mean, it could be as simple as putting on, you know, a VR headset and being immersed in a landscape, and all of a sudden you're standing on the edge of a cliff, right? I've seen people virtually standing on the edge of a cliff, but then start to like sit down because they're starting to get the fear of heights, you know, simulated fear of heights, right? But like, you know, it's these kind of experiences that can be simulated now very easily with technology.
Amazing. Zach, Hume's voice AI doesn't like just speak, but it also express emotions. So how do you see that unlocking the creative opportunities in the fields like storytelling, music, or just performance?
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing it kind of unlocks is, um, when you're doing something like working on a film or an audiobook or even like a video game. I think that's one that we've been kind of looking at a lot lately. You have to have all of your audible content like prepared in advance. And so the thing that I think is most exciting about being able to generate stuff that's expressive on the fly is that your narrative structures don't have to be so linear anymore. You can kind of have things that are responsive or reactive to different contexts, which I think is kind of similar to what we were talking about with some of the performance stuff where things were being generated in real time. So you can almost have these experiences that are unique based off of like a larger subset of criteria.
That's really powerful point. So Josh, does working with AI in real time open new creative path for you? Or do you ever feel like it may take away from the human parts of your work?
I mean, I'm really concerned. My practice and my artwork and the instrument that I've created is completely concerned with human expression and giving humans like, instantaneous power to augment their creativity and do it on the fly. I think the way I use AI is I use it to learn and to code. I am using it more as a tool than in the live art. But I do think there's a huge amount of potential for, like liquid narrative and video games and that sort of thing. It's a fantastic use of these technologies. And I think at this conference we're hearing about ways in which AI is being leveraged to do things we couldn't normally do before. And I think that's where the real exciting parts of this, as it applies to art as well. We're right at the beginning of this, so people are just starting to figure out potential uses of it. I think image generation is, it's cool, but I think it's not nearly where we're headed and what we're going to end up with as we continue to explore. Like, it's an amazing potential, like opening doors. I think that's a great way to put it. Yeah.
Talking about image generation, Aimee, Lovart works as a creative partner. And how do you balance AI's precision with like emotion, touch, the designer's brain? And how do you join the line between automation and collaboration?
Yeah, so I do see there are a lot of discussion about AI as a replacement of workflows. But for us, or like my job as a co-founder, I want to make sure that our product itself is more of empowering. So depending on different target audience or users, for sure, like for professional designers, if they usually they use us for like mood board, which it usually takes for 1 week to actually put it together, and then you have the initial client meeting, right? But now they could use us during the client meeting, and then 5 minutes you have like one mood board, and then maybe they want to shift the directions, and then another 5 minutes you have another direction going on, and then within the initial like 30 minutes or 1 hour of client meeting, you're already showing the clients what could happened or the potential of it. So that's usually what happened for the professional designers. We kind of want to be like to make sure they are more efficient, and so that they leave more room and then more time for their actual high level of creativity and insight, and then just life experience. And for like artists or creators, we actually have seen a lot of newest creations or artwork that we never imagined that could be done with our product. So that's also something that's very inspiring for us as well, because we are, while we building the product and building the product features, we're actually learning from these artists and creators, and also a lot of our users, because everyone have different creative paths and creative thinking ways, and then how we as a product should make sure that it's actually available for everyone to use, easier for everyone to use. And lastly, you know, for individuals, for my friends, for people who have not studied or learned about art, I think it's just like you said, it's like a new door opening. Like, they could never imagine they could create like a poster or like a really well done poster within 5 minutes or even less. So, and then going back to the emotional touch, which I think AI is also very empowering, is that, you know, if you put some keywords to it, for example, like my previous example of like a wedding card or like baby shower or birthday parties, they will acknowledge these different scenarios, and then they will recommend different styles based on these keywords. That will allow, you know, for individuals or someone who has not been that professional to actually pick which style they want or which tone they should go for. So that's going back to, I think, AI or like product itself should always co-create with human. You always need that human touch at the end to make sure that whatever put out there is your message, not AI's message.
Thank you so much. So Jiajian, your work plays with narrative and interaction, and what kinds of emotions you have seen, you have been able to create using the AI-driven performance?
Okay, thank you for the question. I want to mention a project we did this spring. We collaborate with institute called Mechanical Hall in Maine, and we create a digital avatar of the original architect of the Mechanical Hall, and for their fundraising event. And when we trying to create this avatar, the most challenging point is how to find the emotional voice for the avatar, especially when this architect already passed away like hundreds of years ago. And I remember we test all kinds of AI tools. We also try to find the original, like not original voice, but like similar voices like from the recording at that time, and also talk with the family members of the architect and also the institution organizers. And then finally, we create a very, very moving and touching experience for the audience. And at the event, the great grandson of the architect also came to the event. And he himself is also an architect. And he just told me at the event that he never expected this can happen, like this digital, like a living presence of his great-grandfather, how he can interact with him in such a new way at this age, which cannot happen maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So I think that's how AI and all kinds of this kind of emerging technology can enhance the way we experience with culture, with history. Yeah.
Appreciate this beautiful story. So, well, AI actually brings so many exciting opportunities, and it actually raises tough questions around about authorship, originality, and what might get lost during the way. So, how do we navigate these tensions as creators? Ruby, do you want to start first? And do you see AI changing how artists collaborate, or who gets the credit?
Yes, I think that is a huge topic, creativity and authorship with AI, and it's still being worked on. Ethically, fundamentally, I believe everybody should get credit for the art they do, and if artists are leveraging AI and they didn't build the AI themselves, then yes, they should credit the people that built the AI. That's hard work, blood, sweat, and tears being poured into that technology. Um, like I said, I got my undergrad in playwriting, and a lot of my colleagues are writers, and some of them refuse to touch AI, right? They will not. And then others are. And we're starting to see some of the results of that work now, and I think it just makes it more interesting. I mean, we're all saying the similar things: opportunity, open doors, new ways to evoke emotion, and new ways to create like personal experiences, right? Through mass customization, if you will. And I think it's just exciting times. But authorship should be given to those that are doing the work. So if you're building AI, you should get the credit. If you're leveraging AI, you should give the credit to those that made it, right? And also, give yourself the credit as well. As an artist, you give yourself the credit where it's due as well.
I want to point out that that's actually quite difficult to give credit to all the people that were involved in a work when you're using AI, because it's not just the programmers who made the AI. You're right. That's a massive amount of work. But the models themselves were trained on, tons and tons of different artworks. We have social media companies that are, in the EULA that you agree to use, Instagram. You're agreeing that they can use anything you post to train their models. They're not going to give you credit for that. They're not even going to, giving credit to the artists that made the art that have somehow very slightly influenced the image that you've asked Midjourney to generate. It's almost an impossible task, or it's a task that is not currently being addressed. So there are real ethical concerns about how artists engage with these technologies that I think we should really do something about. I mean, maybe we can use AI to come up with a solution to this problem. Maybe there's a way that models can include some kind of statistical data of when somebody used Midjourney to generate their image, it used 0.001% of an image that my wife, who is an illustrator, was in that model. So there are definitely ways of solving the problem, but it's too easy not to right now. These technologies are here. The cat's out of the bag. We're all using them. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I think we should all keep talking about and keep exploring. And I think as artists, often it's part of our job as artists is to kind of challenge some of these things and bring it to the forefront so that people can see it and people can talk about it and we can hopefully move forward with it. So yeah.
I think this idea too of like the identity of some sort of AI tool, whether that's image generation or something else, is interesting because you could kind of think of it as a collaborator, like in the instance of Nina writing a song, that feels more like being a creative contributor to a project. But then I think there's also another perspective in thinking of it more like something like Adobe Premiere or Photoshop, where if it's not involved creatively, but it's kind of helping facilitate the production of something, then I can see that being less relevant in sharing. I think right now there's a lot of hype around, like, if you're making a fully generated project with AI, people really want to, mention that they're using like Suno, or they're using Midjourney, or they're, because they want to share how they're utilizing some of these tools. But I think as they become more common in production, we'll start thinking of it like, I don't really care if it was photographed on like a Sony camera or a Canon camera. It's just you use the camera. And so I don't know. I think it's like an interesting part about where we're at too, and it could fall either way. But there's like one way of looking at it as like a contributor, and another way of looking at it as like purely just like a means of production.
Yeah, you don't credit Photoshop. I don't say how I've used Photoshop or Keynote in those images, but I think there's still this fundamental, training data sets and models and how they work that is still pretty important. I'll say one other thing and then I'll shut up. But I think what's really interesting about these technologies is that AI represents this giant mashing up of collective data of all of our stuff. And there is really good things and really positive, amazing things about that. And there's a lot of darkness and weird, hate speech and that sort of thing, all rolled up into this kind of dark mirror of what we are as humans. And I love that. I love that idea that these technologies are true reflections. And maybe I'm talking more about the LLMs than I am about the image generation, but I think it holds true. The potential for using these things as a way to look at ourselves is immense. It's absolutely incredible how amazing we can look at ourselves as humans. We can see a mirror and see what we are. Mm-hmm. Like that's incredible. That's an incredible insight. So anyway, yeah, I think we should still talk about these things, and we should still be playing with these ideas. But I do feel very positively about these aspects of how it is all, everybody's stuff mashed up. Yeah.
I will go back to the point. I was thinking more like into positive way. So you're able to access all the collective legend minds. I mean, I'm more talking about image generation for sure, because that relates to me more. But yeah, so definitely, I think first is like, because I'm a co-founder, so for a product. So definitely, firstly is that we have to acknowledge that, and then we have to. We don't train our own models, but we want to make sure that every APIs that we enter, they have clean data. So that's like first initiative move that we done, and then also with our platform itself, I think for sure, like even though we're also in beta, we want to make sure that they have this publish features. So if you create something and then you don't want to publish it, or you want to keep it to yourself, with this masterpiece, it's all yours. And then we're not gonna, ever disclose that or whatever. So you will not see it anywhere. And also, we are trying to, like I said, because I believe that this tool or like AI in general will enhance more on humans' creativity. So what we want to do next, or what we are already starting exploring, is that we want to create this ecosystem for creators, so they are able to be, paid with their creativity or their artwork or their template anywhere within our platform. So I understand it's not totally solve your concerns for sure, but I would try my best, or as a team, we try our best to, whatever that's within our responsibility, we want to make sure that we acknowledge that and then set the rules somehow.
That's amazing. That's totally awesome, and that's exactly the right kind of direction, I think.
Yeah. I think this is a very controversial and but really a topic needs to be discussed, and especially for AI and arts. And of course, those kind of either large language model or image model, they train such a big data set, and sometimes I think there are websites you can track if your image on your social media are like trained in those models. I think it's a very interesting